Hey, good morning or good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be here on September 25 already. I can't believe it, especially since outside here in the great state of New Hampshire, it's 90 degrees or getting close to that. In fact, I was actually swimming in Lake Winnipesaukee yesterday. Can't believe it, but anyway, we'll take it. Nonetheless, this is just a a midterm message, and this is proverbially where the rubber hits the road. So I just want to kind of call it a professional development piece, just on some reminders, just to let everybody know what's required over the course of time. But more importantly, thank you for all the hard work you're doing. A lot of grading, a lot of the rubrics, a lot of stuff going on while you're managing a very busy full-time lives. So I want to say just offer my most sincere appreciation for that. And thank you for working and responding to your team leads. It's really imperative that you do. They're really here to support you. They have your back. If something comes up during the course of the term, it's not fatal to your teaching assignment. Just let us know. I know we all know. I mean, we're all teachers stuck in. I'm a teacher stuck in a deep spot, and I get what it is. All right, and we don't want to create angst or stress, but we also have to make sure this is a continuous, steady experience for the students from on to on, because they're adults who have to plan their weeks too. So if something comes up, God forbid it's an injury or a full-time work obligation, something happens, just let us know, okay? We had over 90 people that volunteered their services, and we're ready, at the ready, to help the people in Florida, the instructors in Florida, Texas, etc. So we have plenty of backup, and we're prepared to help you, okay? Yeah, it can't be for the entire term, whatever, but let's work on that. So don't be afraid of saying, hey, Jeff, I'm stuck, okay? Can you help me out? And I, along with the team leads, will do everything we possibly can to help you make sure that the course continues to run smoothly, because 8 weeks goes like a shot. It's March 4th. I'm teaching this term, and I can't believe I'm halfway through. And I sit there and go, I hope I'm keeping up with everything, and I hope that the students are satisfied with the messaging and communication as uninterrupted as I can possibly make it. Okay, so that's critical. So make sure that you are participating, please. And any interruptions, that let us know. The students really you may not seem like this because we're in the psychologically disconnected environment of, the asynchronous. We're behind a keyboard, and there's a level of anonymity. Okay, but let's break that down. If a student asks a question in the general questions, they're reaching out to you, and they have to wait 2 or 3 days before that question gets answered, that has a tremendous adverse effect on their schedule for the week, because many of them say, well, once I get this question answered, I can resolve the issue that I'm asking about. But I can only resolve it between now and then, because I have to put in 14-hour days at the hospital or at the clinic, or I have to work overtime guarding the president or something. Who knows, right? And I won't be able to get to it then. And now all is lost, and maybe I can't make it through the course. So your announcements are critical to that, for them to be able to plan, but the turnaround on their questions is critical. So make sure you monitor that frequently. At least take a few minutes every day to pop in and see if they need any help. Because again, this term goes so fast, and this is how they plan their weeks. They have a limited amount of time. That's why they're online. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for the quick turnaround on answering questions for students. It's really important. Okay, the rubrics, please pay attention to them. I know that there's a tremendous amount of visual tedium that you can burn out on those things here, and you have to click each rubric to make sure that the actual element is registered and pushed through Gradebook and pushed out to our data team. If it's not there, we have an inaccurate grade. And in particular, at the end of the term, which is coming fast, and we like to think, make sure that you hit all the rubrics. Double check them, please. If you miss one, it results in a grade discrepancy, which can stymie students' distribution of financial aid and really basically prohibit them from moving on. All right, so that is very, very important. You pay close attention to that. I know I'm going to nag the daylights out of you. I can't apologize for that, because it really is very important. That's the work part of the course. For creative people, that can drive you crazy. I get it, but that is the organizational part we have to pay heed to. So make sure you do that. Recently, I sent out what Colt had sent out relative to the actual use of the rubrics and how comprehensive you must be on the formative rubrics, okay? That in each critical element, you should say something. If there's a deficit there and they're not proficient or exemplary, then they need to know what they did wrong. You've got to put that in there, okay? I go as far as, if they get proficient or exemplary, hey, nice work on this. At least that type of thing lets them know that I care. There's a level of zeal and empathy, okay, which is critical. All right, we're not automatons. You own the course in your ability to really convey the fact that you care enough to read what they're writing and what deficits they need to address, whether it's at your hand or through a referral to the writing center. But you've got to put something in each one of those rubrics. It's imperative. They look at that, okay? Especially if they don't get the grade they want, that's where they go back. And if they appeal that grade and there's nothing in those rubrics, all right, then I can't defend the instructor's zeal, participation, dedication, or level of expertise, even if they got on the phone with the student. You've got to put it in there. All right, so feedback in the text-based environment has to be text-based. All right, I know it's a lot of work. I get it. I can't make any excuses for it, but it has to be done. So if you have any questions about how to use that rubric and what's expected in terms of being very clear, okay, on what the students are doing well and maybe not so well, please do that. This is an open access environment, all right? We don't want you to have to focus in necessarily on the lowest common denominator all the time, but that's who we are and that's how we roll, all right? So make sure you do that. End of term, when that comes, grades have to be in on time, as you know, and I'll be sending out a calendar invite, which is nothing more than just to place a calendar reminder for you so that you can plan ahead to make sure that the grades get in on time. That's really, really an administrative issue that we have to deal with, you know, and it really, end of term really is a pain. We get it, but it's very important. I know many of you say, I'm just waiting for that one last paper from that student so they can cross the finish line. And we do appreciate that. So it's not due until 10 p.m. 2 days after the course if it's undergrad. And I'll send those reminders out, etc. So this is basically the midway message. Is, like I said, participation and feedback right now is critical, okay? As the students really progress through those milestones as they build towards their final project, they really need to know. So be as clear as you possibly can. Content feedback. If you don't like something in the course, you don't think it's working, it's ambiguous, whatever it may be, let us know, or just go right ahead and submit a design feedback ticket. You're the expert, you're in the weeds. I'm not going to second guess you. All right, you're not a pariah, it's not complaining. We need your expert qualitative feedback as to what you're seeing in the course that students may not understand. I submit them, I get in there, I go, I don't like what that's being said. It's too loose. They don't, you know, you've got 28 people reading something, you have 28 different perceptions. And all we have at our fingertips are words, all right, phrases. And we talked about that in some previous tutorials relative to, you know, how adult readers read online, screen reading, and how the Saccade actually works online is completely different than it is from brick and mortar, okay, from paper books. So anyway, I've kept it long enough. Participate, feedback, make sure you attend to those rubrics, really important. If you need help, you need to connect, you need to vent, my number is 603-858-3817. Again, if your team leads reach out to you, please let them know that you're alive and well, all right? So they don't have to chase you. Just let them know, all right, when they reach out on observations and support. So I want to thank everybody for all the things you're doing. We know this is a lot of work, but we do have your back, all right? And I think that's pretty plain and pretty clear. Thanks. Have a great week. Let's finish this term really strong. Thanks.